Summertime, summertime.
When MGM Studios opened here in 1989, some of its animation artists used to actually make their movies right in front of the tourists. And of course, for decades, Disney had a major animation department. But all of that is gone. However, some of the artists actually decided to stay here, as Early Show national correspondent Jeff Glor found out. And I guess you are loving this gig, being here in Florida, right?
We like the cash. We have the golf outfit on.
I like it.
Go for a swim after.
Well, maybe not here.
Maybe not, but we'll see.
So what did you find out about these folks?
It's fascinating what happened, because just a couple of years ago, nearly 200 animators, they lost their jobs here when the studio's major movie animation business went out west. Some of those artists are still in Orlando, taking advantage of an industry that is once again showing signs of success.
This is Mojo, the company mascot who hopes to be the next face in animation, even though he doesn't have one.
We're talking about an entire environmental change for this sequence, correct?
And this is Mighty Mojo Studios, one of several startup companies making animation in the Orlando area.
We had this idea to open the studio, and we wanted to come up with a name also that kind of reflected the fact that we were, you know, a real small startup boutique studio. So
Ike Eisenman and his wife Alex started Mighty Mojo just over a year ago.
And the opportunity just fell into our laps. We were surrounded by talent. We were surrounded by all these people that we could do this out here.
Surrounded by people like Barry Temple, a veteran animator whose credits include The Little Mermaid and Beauty and the Beast.
Close that at once, do you mind?
When Disney closed their animation operation here in 2004, Barry was among the many animators left without a job, but who still chose to stay in Central Florida.
he wandered into our studio one day and said, "You guys are doing some pretty cool stuff. You want to talk?" And we said, "Are you kidding?"
So Barry joined this small production team and traded his hand-drawn craft to create new characters with a computer.
You've gone from traditional to CGI. How different is it?
Well, it is different in that it's not as intuitive as when you have a pencil and paper. It's very mechanical. But after you do it for a while, it's sort of ingrained in you, and it becomes the same process.
The Mystery of Shooting Stars is Mighty Mojo's newest project, and as you might expect for a small studio.
My name is Stella, and I'm the fastest and the most colorful shooting star in the whole galaxy.
The boss often does the voices and the budgets.
Curious.
But with more of this series in the works, Mighty Mojo is already looking to expand.
We actually have 2 other projects we're developing right now, and our first feature we expect to have in wide release within 5 years.
So, will Mojo become the next Mickey? Time will tell, but we do know that not all animators here in Orlando are looking to make the next movie blockbuster.
The Bears line out a 4-3.
The animation's animation, really.
Another former Disney animator, Jim Jackson, now combines his love of football with a new career in video game animation.
The lines being blurred between what can be done in a feature film and what can be done in a video game.
Looking deep to the right.
And Madden NFL, developed by Electronic Arts' Tiburon Studio in Orlando, was the best-selling video game in North America last year.
Yeah, just watch your arcs.
That success has brought a need for more employees, and students looking to get into animation have been filling area classrooms.
Those are good, my man, really good.
At the Full Sail School, you'll find more veteran animators training the next generation.
It's really fun because you get people who are like, I had Pocahontas bed sheets when I was like up and things like that, and I'm like, oh.
And you may have worked on Pocahontas.
I did work on that movie. I was like, well, I was an intern. You might want to check this part right here.
In an industry now dominated by computer-generated animation, Kathy Blackmore's students start with the basics and draw by hand.
I'm sort of a step back, you know, to the old school, trying to help the new school, you know, keep moving forward.
And move forward is exactly what this group of animators has done in a town that never gave up on their industry.
In 15 years, maybe Orlando will be the animation capital of the world.
Well, we're going to do our part of that, try to bring that about.
Mighty Mojo Studios is one of nearly 400 production companies now operating in the Orlando area.
So how do they all stay competitive?
Well, what happens is, I mean, years ago when Toy Story came out, which was the first big CGI, it was hugely expensive. Now you can get so much more computing power for so much less money. Nearly anybody can do it. You want to make a movie together?
Sure. Well, I liked you with that little guy, the little Mojo guy.
Mighty
that was
Mojo.
Very cute. I think you have a future.
I was worried he was going to jump on me and start hitting me or something.
Somebody in the control room asked who was the cartoon character.
Who was the cartoon character, yes. Thank you, Steve, very much for that. I appreciate it.
Jeff, great to see you. Great to be with you here in Florida.